All right, guys, we've got a fun one today. This is string ball. So you have probably played this game at least a few times in your career here at Vertical Journey Martial Arts, and I hope you get to play it a lot more, and I hope you get to lead it. A couple of important things we want to go over is why do we play games? Number one, man, it just gets people excited, okay? We want to do it so that it encourages them. Number two, it gets them cardio going. Depending on the game, it can work on different skills. So this particular one is basically jump rope. So it's going to work on their cardio, it's going to work on their calf muscle strength, it's going to work on their balance, timing, all sorts of other amazing skills. Number three, it creates some camaraderie, okay? So whenever they get to play games together, then it helps them to have some shared experience, and that's going to help them to stick around longer. Okay, a couple of important things that you need to know about games. Number one, always go over the rules. Even if you're going over the rules with people who have played the game 100 times before, you don't have to go into super detail, but you want to go over those rules. Now, when you go over the rules, you want to make sure that you don't go into too much detail, because then it kind of kills the game, right? I don't want to be like, well, if it hits your big toe, but not your pinky, then you're still in, or whatever. You know, like getting into kind of that level of detail is not important. However, important things like make sure you're staying safe, those are important, right? Okay, so like saying, this is how we're going to set the game up in order for you to stay safe, all right? Now, I'm going to go over briefly how to position your body in order to do this particular game. Then we're going to go through kind of the rules and why we do each one of them, and I've got a group of students over here who's going to help me out, okay? When you run the string ball, here's how you do it. You're going to take that string ball, and you're going to go ahead and stretch that cord all the way out, okay? When you're going to do it, you're going to take it in one hand and kind of have a loose grip, but this is going to be your control hand to make sure that that doesn't leave you, okay? You don't want the ball to swing out and hit some parent in the eyeball while they're reading their book over there, okay? Yes, I have almost done that before. With the other hand, this is going to be your swinging hand, okay? So you're going to start near the end of the rope, okay? This hand is going to be your control hand. This is going to be your swinging hand. When you position your body, you want to lay down on your back, and you want to curl your feet up. Okay, so sit crisscross applesauce, this is the best way to do it, and then just lay down and make sure your knees don't pop up when you do that. If you stick your feet out straight, the string will catch your toe pretty much every time, and you might get your toes stepped on. You want to make as small a footprint on the floor as possible so that your head, hands, and all that stuff is not going to get stepped on by kids who are jumping and bouncing and falling. So we're going to crisscross the feet, we're going to land down as flat as we can. This is also a great time to stretch, work on those splits, okay? From here, you're going to take that ball and you're going to start it swinging directly above your face, and you're going to start it swinging small. And then you want to gradually let it out. Now, as you can see right now, it's way off the ground. As I let it out, I allow it to sink down toward the ground. If I let it roll on the ground the whole way, it's going to create a lot of drag and be very difficult for me to spin it. So I want to kind of keep it just barely touching the ground. I should hear it kind of kissing the mat every once in a while, okay? From here, if I want to go bigger, I can by swinging my arm, right? And keeping it down low to the ground. The further out the ball gets, the faster you have to swing it to make sure that it's still going. The slower your hand is going to go though, okay? So the end of the ball is going to be going a lot faster than your hand. As it comes in closer, which you can do by simply drawing it with the other hand, pulling that string out, right? You're going to have to move your hand a little bit closer to the speed of the ball. Make sure that you're not swinging it up high over here and down low over here, up high over here, down low over here. Unless you're doing that intentionally, if you're working with students of maybe a more advanced level or something like that, you can adjust the level a little bit. This is going to take some practice, so don't get frustrated if the first time you do this, the ball just kind of goes out and then just rolls to a stop. And you're like, I don't understand what happened, okay? You're going to have to practice it. All right, excellent. Now, when you do this, you want to make sure that you swing that ball far enough out from you that it's never going to hit you, okay? Because when it does, it's very confusing for the students. It is kind of funny, though. You want to allow this control hand to slide down, but never let go of the string completely, all right? Okay, whether you're doing it left or right, doesn't matter. You can swing it either direction. Just make sure that ball is staying down at least within 6 to 8 inches of the floor. We really don't want to go a lot higher than that unless we're dealing with advanced students or people who are just super athletic. All right, excellent. Hey guys, can you guys go ahead and come out for me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I've got some students here who really love this game, and they're going to help me out. The way we start this game is by having them grab hands and make a circle. This is usually chaotic, okay? Okay, everybody, go ahead and grab hands and make a circle, please. Awesome, so now we're going to get them to grab hands, and now they're going to stretch out. Okay, gently stretch out with your partners. Excellent, okay, go ahead and drop your hands. Now, we've created a good circle just by adding that tension. We can create that circle. We can take that circle and move it anywhere on the floor that we need to. All right, guys, I want you to take 3 giant steps back. 1, 2, 3, great job. Okay, I want them to step farther out than I'm going to swing that ball. because I need them to have time to see the timing of the ball and to get used to its swing before they start jumping in. I'm going to go over the rules. Okay, guys, when we do this game, very, very important, you want to jump over the string, not the ball. So if some little 66-year-old gets hit in the ankle with the ball, it's going to sting a little bit. They're going to have some tears. It's going to kind of ruin the whole deal, okay? So we want to tell them in advance, try to jump over the string, not the ball. Rule number 2, okay, guys, if you get hit with the string, you are out. This is a great time to highlight some integrity. Guys, if you get hit with that string and it keeps going, man, I want you to have some integrity. If you think it's you, go ahead and call yourself out. Then you're going to set the expectation that whatever the person in the middle says, that's the end all. It doesn't matter. They don't get to argue with it, okay? Because otherwise you'll have, some new students who don't have quite the integrity or whatever, and they're going to argue with you till kingdom come about whether the string hit them or whether it bounced or whether it hit the guy next to them or not, right? So if you say they're out, they're out. You can feel a lot through this string to tell who gets hit. It takes a lot of focus, but you can, okay? All right. Next, guys, whenever I say go, you're going to jump in. Make sure that you're jumping over that string. If you are not, you're going to be called out. So as you're doing this, you're going to have your instructors, your helpers. They're going to be coming around and they're going to be helping people get in. Don't shove them in, right? But you're going to help them get in. This is important because you might have a little Jimmy who's 5 over here, and this is his first time playing the game, and he wins because he was jumping 6 feet from the end of the ball the whole time, okay? And now it's unfair for everybody else. We want everybody to be in there and be struggling and trying, and the best man wins. And that's okay because that helps others to be inspired to work harder, okay? All right, guys, now I'm going to go ahead and lay down on the mat, and I'm going to start swinging. Please wait for me to say go. Once you say go, they're going to go ahead and jump in. So, guys, let's do a quick round. Oh, one other thing. Before you start the first round, you're going to give them an expectation of what happens if they get hit. Okay, hey, guys, if you get hit, you're going to go over to this side of the room. You're going to do a horse dance and do some punches. 0 down time. Now, if you're doing this at a birthday party or something like that, that 0 down time is not as important. But in class, we want to have people moving. We want to have them actively training as much as we can. All right, guys, get ready. Here we go. I'm going to start swinging. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Go ahead and jump in there. There we go. Get some jumps going. Awesome job, guys. Excellent. And then, somebody gets hit. I don't care who, but somebody gets hit. Oh, no, Becca got hit. Oh, Becca, thanks for playing. You're going to head over there, give you those great horse dances. Excellent, great punches. Awesome. And then we're going to continue, okay? As you go down in the number of people, you can start to increase the difficulty level. You can start to change the speed, right? I can spin it this fast, or I can spin it this fast. And I can change speed halfway through. If you have a student who consistently wins, I'm going to tell you a secret here that not many people know. I will intentionally get that person out, okay? Because I want other people to have a chance at success. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they're just that good, like this guy over here, okay? Sometimes they're just that good and I can't get them out and they're going to win anyway. Great. I'm increasing the challenge for them. They're increasing their skills. Sometimes you have a student who is not following the rules. You can intentionally get them out. You speed up when it's coming around to them, right? You want to be careful that you don't make that too obvious to all the students. Parents are going to figure this out at some point, all right? That's fine. If they're paying that close of attention, great. I'm glad they're paying attention to their students' training. But you, as the person running the game, you have a lot of control over what happens in the game. Make sure that your emotional state does not have an effect on who you choose to make, get hit with the string or who you choose to get out. Make sure that you're always being super fair with that. All right, guys, you're going to need to spend some time practicing this, but that's how you run a game of string ball. I hope you guys have a lot of fun with it. We'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, one quick additional thing about the string ball. We always want to make sure we put it up in a way that's going to actually make sense. So I'm going to show you a quick way to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to take that string and you're going to grab it with the pinky side down toward the ball. You're going to start making loops. Not huge loops. We don't want to be like, bunny ears from hell here, okay? We want to make sure that those ears are just a little bit short, and then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom side. We're just going to keep wrapping it like this, up and down, all the way down the length of the string until you get close to the end. Once you do that, you're going to wrap around. You need to wrap around no less than 3 times, and the 4th time is going to be your tensioning loop, okay? So from here, I've got this nice little bit. When you have a lot of knots in the end of your string, it can be a little bit difficult, which is why we need that 4 full wraps. I'm going to switch hands. I'm going to take that long string, and I'm going to wrap once. Then it's going to cross itself right here. So you can see that I've got it coming around here. I'm going to cross it over, and that's going to help keep it from loosening up, okay? I'm going to wrap it around 2 more times. Now, I've got a couple of good loops on there, so you can see that. I'm going to go ahead and loosen that first one. I'm going to tuck it through itself, and that's going to be my tensioning loop right there. And then I'm just going to kind of grab it on either side and give it a good pull here, and now it'll hold itself together. So that's how you wrap up the string ball after you're finished with it.